Okay, perfect. Just a couple things before I go over CRM basics. Just want to make sure I go over the timeline each month of what these weekly trainings will be. So it might be good just to note this somewhere, but I have it on the emails too. First and third Thursday of every month is going to be CRM basics and how to like go over GoHighLevel. If you're experienced with GoHighLevel, this may be boring to you because it's like how to create a contact, how to create an opportunity, how to add a workflow, how to create a workflow. So just keep that in mind, but you're happy to join. You're welcome to join anytime for those. Second Thursday of every month, I'm going to have a mortgage expert on. So next week we're doing Stickum. They have an awesome product. John Jurkovich is actually going to be showing that with the Stickum team. So that will be next week. That's the second Thursday of every month. And then the fourth Thursday of every month is going to be new features that I added to the CRM. So that would be like the co-branded application link, the open house pages, and then like the power dialer and everything. So that's the schedule. Couple more resources for you guys to get into the basics. If you are on my CRM or marketing package and you need a one-on-one call, I hate that people have to wait for me because I'm on so many calls. This is my assistant. I've been working with him for 5 years. He'll do a one-on-one call with you and go over GoHighLevel, but you're more than welcome to still meet with me. But this is good if you want like next day, show me how GoHighLevel works, one-on-one training. So there's a resource there for you guys. And then just one last thing, my business partner every week is releasing new things you can do inside of GoHighLevel. If you're on my marketing package, just keep in mind, I'm already doing all this stuff for you. But if you're on my CRM package, just CRM, this is a good one. But any questions? Then I'll start going over CRM basics. Okay. Awesome. So we're going to start with contacts on the left-hand side. And sorry, let me let a couple more people in.
Hey, Deven?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was just curious, how did I get to that gentleman that you pulled up? How would I get to him from the CRM?
Yeah. So it's in the Google Meet chat. It's the Roberto one-on-one GoHighLevel training. Did that come through?
Okay, so you sent it through the chat.
Yep. Yeah, it should be in there, but let me know if you don't see it, Sean, and I'll resend it.
Mm-hmm. And what is the difference between the marketing package and the CRM package that you're talking about?
Great question. So the CRM is just the CRM and it's the CRM only. The marketing package is everything on this page. Sean, you're on the marketing one where we do like the weekly videos and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the marketing package right here.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. Does that help guys too? But other people are wondering that. Okay, awesome. And then I'm going to delete this contact because it's a test one, and we'll get going. Okay, guys. First and third Thursday, this is CRM basics. So we're going to start with the basics and go with contacts inside of here. So this is how you create a contact inside of GoHighLevel. So you're going to go to contacts. You're going to go to add contact, and you're just going to put in their information right here. So I'll just do me as a test. Deven Testerson 700, or yeah, I have a ton of these. I need to clean this up. And then we'll just do email, Deven Testerson 7800 at digital.com. And then you'll put in their phone number right here, and then you'll hit save, and that will create the contact. And just stop me, raise your hand, or you can just interrupt me if you have any questions if I'm going too fast, but I'll try to go a little bit slower today. So that's how you create a contact. Once you get inside of your contact, you're going to see this side on the left-hand side, which is the contact information. The thing that I love about GoHighLevel is we can customize this to be whatever we want it to be, from the order of the fields to the label of the fields to like we can delete fields, we can add fields. So this may look a little bit different depending on the LOS you have, like if you have Nano or Arrive or Lending Pad or another LOS. But right here, these are where the fields will be located. This is what's called a folder inside of a field. So some people like to have more stuff in their contact field. So I can change that if you just let me know, and I'll show you how to change that yourself too. Some like to have loan details in one folder because it's easier to find all the loan details in one folder. And then I have loan parties and loan events. And then just keep in mind, we can change this to whatever you want to be. So if you want to change this to how your business works, just let me know and I can update it. Any questions on how to create a contact or what the fields and the folders are in the fields?
Yeah. Is there a way to separate them to be like a client or a realtor that we can, so when we send out mass emails, it knows who goes and who doesn't, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe I forgot to show that, Huss. Thanks for bringing that up. So I like to use tags right here. So you'll do real estate agent for your real estate agent tag. So you'll just go to tags, then add it, and then I'll add it right there. And then for clients, I just use borrower, but we can change this. Some LOs do it differently where like they use tags and they don't use tags. So I'll show both options. So this would just be borrower, co-borrower. And then I also have a tag funded loan right here. So that would be for like people you funded a loan with. That way we can track that too. So that makes sense, Huss, on there?
Yes.
Okay. Some tags might look a little bit different depending if we changed it for you guys. So just let me know if you want any of those updated or cleaned up. Going down on the left-hand side in the middle, we got D&D, which is do not contact right here. So if you ever need a D&D someone, if they email stop or text stop, or they fill out an unsubscribe link, they'll be automatically added to D&D. But if you want to keep them as a contact, but you just don't want them to get emails, you just mark email and they wouldn't get that going forward. So that's D&D. And let me know if I'm moving too fast, guys. Sometimes I do it. I don't mean to, but I do it because I know the CRM really well. Okay, and then going on left-hand side on the very right is actions. So there's a few different actions. One is opportunities. So I have a bunch of different pipelines, which I'll explain in just a moment. But this would be a quick way to add someone as an opportunity. So let's say that Devin's a real estate agent that I want to have on like my potential real estate agents I want to partner with. I'll hit create new. And I'll go to the pipeline and go to my potential realtor partners. Let's say I'm not working with Deven yet. And I'd want to put him in the identified stage. I'll show you that in a second, how to use that for your own business, but that's how you'd create them as an opportunity if they're not already. And then workflows. So I have a ton of workflows inside of here. If you're on my marketing package, that's where I help you add videos into your workflows. So that would be like a credit repair, we add videos, purchase, we add videos, but I have these all inside of here. But if you go into active workflows, you can actually add a workflow that I've created for you. And then I'll show you how to look at these workflows and review them before you send it out. So again, if I go to actions and I click on active workflows and I just type in, let's say like credit repair, this would put them on the campaign with the emails and texts and tasks. And I'll show you how to view that before you start using these in just a second. Another cool thing is if you're like really busy, I'm even more than happy if you're like, if you just send me a quick email and say, hey, Deven, can you add Jason to a credit repair work campaign? I'll add him for you as well. So you don't have to go to the CRM. That's only if you're on my marketing package though. So I'll take care of that. I saw someone hand, Sean. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
So regarding that, are all the videos already created for like, for example, credit repair? Are those just going to be an email without a video? Are those going to be with a video? Because it's a lot of videos if you're going to do a 12-month campaign or a 12-week campaign.
It is. I'm glad you asked that. So everybody should be getting an email from me every quarter to do a new lead campaign because it's a lot that I need to do and a lot that you need to record. So all these campaigns, like the credit repair, purchase, by default are just going to be text-based, Sean. And then when I email you every quarter and say, hey, let's do a lead campaign this quarter with video, you'll just reply which one you want to do. And then I'll script the video, edit the videos, and put them in the workflow for you. Does that make sense, Sean? And then they'll have videos in those ones.
So all the campaigns already have, generic email templates that are going out. We don't have to worry about creating any templates or anything.
Nope. They're already in there, but I will show you how to create your own on this training and then how to view them too. But yeah, they're all just text right now. Good question. Any other questions on that, guys? Bill?
Actually, I have I have a question about the difference between when you go from different pipelines to stages to opportunities.
Yeah.
When within the stages, is opportunity synonymous with leads? I guess
Yeah.
that's where I'm getting a little tripped up on where like an opportunity transfers within a stage. That makes sense. Like when it
Yeah.
goes from stage to stage and then a different workflow happens.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Bill. And can you remind me what LOS you're on? Are you on Arrive, if I remember?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So basically what a contact is that's going to be like all of the information inside of a contact record is what a contact's going to be.
Mhm.
Then you have an opportunity, which a contact is tied to an opportunity. So if you delete an opportunity, your contact won't delete because like that's your contact. An
Okay.
opportunity, the way I'd look at it is it gives you a visual view of where someone is in the process, like
Right.
for your leads in process, maybe like a real estate agent pipeline, right? Like potential real estate agent. I even have a podcast pipeline, and then I'm able to track like, okay, have we scheduled a meeting? Have we recorded the video? Have we posted on social yet? So an opportunity, I think the best way to explain it is like it's like a visual view of where they are, so
Sure.
that way you can get them down to like a sell or complete. Does that help, Bill, and make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. And I sorry, I don't mean to hijack the meeting here, but
You're good.
just how do you disposition the right? Like, where do you disposition as a tag once you like? So let's just, for instance, you call somebody, they didn't answer, and you put did not answer because that kind of all flows within that contact. And then but you want them to go to a different stage just because maybe they're just ghosting you, right? So you want them to go to a different stage. How do you disposition that portion of it?
Yeah, that's a great question, Bill. So I'll just use the Arrive one for an example. So everybody, if you're with the Arrive LOS and Nano and Lending Pad similar, so let's say you have Deven, right? Bill, that's a new lead.
Right.
You'd want to keep him under new lead unless if you want that customized, which I can do because you have like if they didn't answer right or if they haven't done anything.
Right.
So what I would recommend is instead of dispositioning it, unless if you want me to add like a field that's like contacted, I can do that, like no problem.
Mhm.
I would add a note inside of here and say, tried to call Deven and he didn't answer. That's what I would do. That way you have a record of like what you guys spoke about.
Right.
The other cool thing though is if you click on that contact, if you call from the CRM, it will actually show you that you called that person or texted that person or emailed them.
Mhm.
But Bill, everybody works different as like loan officers. We have our process. So we could add a stage if you wanted for you, just email me. That's like new lead contacted. So I have this pipeline called inbound leads, like if they come from like Facebook or surveys or somewhere else. And what I do is I have in pursuit and then I have contacted. So just let me know if you want to add like a stage like that and then I can add it to your.
All right.
Does that help, Bill?
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And then Maribel, I saw you next, and then Brittany will go after you.
So my question was, since I use Nano, as far as all these tags, up to what point do they pre-populate or do they not? As far as when a client goes from being like a borrower because they're in the application stage to actually being funded, do I have to manually go in there and update that as far as adding those tags?
Nope, great question. It will automatically add all of those, and it comes from Nano the minute they start an application, or if you put them as a lead inside of like your own Nano, and then it goes all the way to funded, and then they'd all be in the funded stage and opportunity.
So these tags, for instance, if I continue using Nano, most of the tags that I would want to use will pre-populate throughout the stages. Yep. And then maybe if there's a lead that for whatever reason I don't enter a Nano, then that's where I myself can add these tags manually.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Or if it's a brokered loan, for instance, because those don't necessarily update throughout. Okay.
Yeah, and that'd be good as like a tag to put broker loan, just so you know, like, because then you can filter by tags, you know. So, yeah, it's a good way to think of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And then Brittany, and then we'll go after Brittany to the next
You mentioned the calling somebody within the CRM, and am I understanding that correctly, or maybe I made this up, but it actually records the call or the transcript of the call into the CRM?
Yep, it does both. I just have to turn it on in your account because it will say like this is there's a way to turn it off. So just let me know, but it'll say this is a recorded call by default. So if you do want your phone calls recorded, let me know and I'll turn it on. And then I can also turn on the transcript feature as well. That's a really good question, Brittany.
Can we turn off the notification that we're recording it, or is that it has to go out like that?
Yep, I can turn that off. I just need you to email me back that it's not on me and that you've accepted if something happens. Because legally you have to have it if you're recording a call. But as long as you're okay on
Yeah,
that.
Kentucky is different. Kentucky is just a one-party state.
Oh, sweet. Then yeah, some states are different. So yeah, as long as I just have that from you, Brittany, I can turn it on, no problem.
Okay, cool. I'd like that. Oh, one more question about the phone.
Yeah.
Is there another like easy way to use it like on your iPhone outside of just the GoHighLevel app, or is there like, because I'm just thinking with like my LOA, her having access to the text message, is there an easier way for her to access those texts outside of GoHighLevel?
Yeah, really the best way is if they download the mobile app, your loan officer assistant, and they use the mobile app because you can call from the mobile app and it kind of feels like you're calling from your personal number. Like it feels very similar. You're just doing it on an app on your phone.
Okay, but that's the GoHighLevel app, right?
Yep, and you can either do GoHighLevel or Lead Connector. They're the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, perfect.
John, go ahead, sir.
I had a question about as you're talking about phones, how do we turn on? I know there's a way, and I'm not exactly sure how, to get my caller ID when I make outbound calls to reflect like my name or my cell phone. Like I can put different things in there.
Yeah, we actually can. John, if we have time, I'll show you how to do that. But if you could send me an email, I'll just do it for you of like what name you want to pull up.
Yeah, I'm weird. I like to learn how to do it. But okay, I know that I can do it. I see it, people doing it, calling me. And I'm like, how'd you do that? They're like, I don't know. So, okay.
It made it really easy. Like GoHighLevel made an update, so they made it really easy to do it. So I'll show you. I'm just a little behind, so I want to make sure we don't run out. But yeah, just remind me if we have extra time, and I'll show you a bit of it. Okay. And then if you guys okay with it, I am a little behind on the training. Let's wait till questions till the end, but just write them down, and then you can email me, and I can record a Loom. Not your guys' fault. I should have said that. I didn't realize I should have said that at the beginning. So just lesson learned. But okay. So we're going to go down the middle side. So this is where you're going to see texts, you're going to see emails, and you're going to see social media DMs. Like if you have your Instagram connected or your Facebook connected or your Google My Business, that will show up all right here. So that's where it'll show everything like the activity. On the right-hand side, you'll have activity. Like if someone visited one of your websites or landing pages, it'd actually tell you the page that they visited, and then it would tell you which page they filled out their information. So that would show on the very right under activity. And then you have associations. If you guys see something called loans in your CRM, it's on the left-hand side and it's right here. Please ignore that just for probably the next month or two. It's something that GoHighLevel released a few months ago, and it's going to allow us to do a lot of cool things. But it's something I had to have in everybody's account. But just ignore loans on the left side and inside of associations for now until it's fully built out. But you can see your opportunities right here too on the right-hand side. The reason I love GoHighLevel's view is like everything that you need is in one spot. So it's really nice to like have it all in one spot instead of clicking on multiple things. It's just all right there. Then we're going to go to tasks is the next thing. So I'm going to show you guys how to create a task. So we're going to click on add task. We're going to put in a title. So we'll just do this is a test as like a title. And then maybe we could say like follow up with Deven about his application. And then the system will email, text you, and send you a push notification when your task is due. You can customize that if you want it to only send you like an email or a push notification. I'll show you. And then you'll want to put a due date right here. And then you'll want to put a due time as well. Dang, I should have got more water. I'm losing my voice. You'll also need to assign it to yourself. Brittany, this would be a good example if you have like an LOA. Let's say you want them to get the reminder when the task is due. You would just assign it to that person. And then, so that's a one-time task. Let's say you want to set up a recurring task. So maybe it's like a borrower that has bad credit, or maybe they're not going to move forward for like a few months, and you want to make sure that you're following up with them every week just to make sure you don't lose that deal. If you want to do that, you would just click on recurring task, repeat every week, month, day, or even year, and then you can have it end on never, or you could say after 3 weeks have it end, because then you've done enough time like following up with them. So and then again, if you guys have questions, I know no one does right now, just let me know at the end. I'm sorry that I'm running behind on this training, but that's how you do the tasks. Notes is the next thing. So this is how you add a note. I've seen a lot of loan officers not only use this like when they're talking to someone on their phone, but they use it to like keep track of personal items. So let's say my favorite team's the Jazz. You could just say Deven's favorite team is the Jazz. He has 3 kids and 1 is in dance. That's a talking point now in the future that you could bring up with Deven. Like, hey, I saw the Jazz aren't doing great, or you guys just made a trade or whatever. That way it feels like you remember everything about them, when in reality it's really in your CRM, but it gives you a talking point inside of there. So that's notes. And then that's everything. There is one more thing where you could upload documents if you wanted to inside of here. So this is where you would add documents if it's not in your LOS, but that's where you could add like your own documents inside of here. And then if you have an appointment scheduled with them, that would be under appointments right there. Okay, so that's everything about contacts. And then I'm going to show you guys how to create snippets. Snippets are a way, let's say like you're using the same text message or email every single time for a specific thing, but you just need to change the email or text message just a little bit. I'll show you how to create those. So you're going to go to marketing, and you're going to go to snippets. And by the way, I can do this for you if you just let me know you want a snippet created for a text or an email. You're going to do plus new snippet. And sorry, someone just join. Let me put them in really quick. And then Brittany, it's your question, so I'll make sure I get to that too. Yeah, if you guys actually could put them in the chat, that'd be awesome. That way you don't forget and I don't forget, and then I'll answer about that. And that's a good idea, Brittany. And then how to create a snippet, you're going to click on new snippet. If it's a text, you're going to do text. If it's an email, you're going to do email. So let's do a text one for this example. And let's say it's a text message I send after I do every pre-approval. Like I have this specific text. The difference between having a text and an automation and a text and a snippet is something you can change manually, like before the text sends. An automation is where the text just sends out for you and it's the exact same copy, but you can source in custom fields like interest rate, loan amount, right? Because that's coming from the custom fields. A little confusing, but bear with me. This will make sense in just a second. So here's the name that I want to remember my snippet by for text. I'm going to say, hey, and then we can code in their first name. So, hey, contact first name. Just wanted to let you know you're pre-approved. I recorded a quick loom for you to watch. And then maybe you use like a loom, and that's the link that you put inside of there. So we'll save this as the snippet. And then I'm going to show you guys how to use this snippet inside of a contact. Don't know why it's just a small bug in GoHighLevel, but you have to refresh after you create the snippet or it doesn't show. So if I go to contacts and I go to, let's just do this one, Deven Gillen. And I go to the bottom and I want to use a snippet for a pre-approval text. I'll click on snippets, pre-approval, and then it will pull everything in. And then I'm able to add that loom link before I send it. If it was an automation, it would just send automatically and you wouldn't be able to change anything before it connects. Okay. And again, just put your questions in the chat and I'll come back to everybody's. So that's how you use snippets. And then the next thing we're going to go to is we did everything in contacts. We're going to go to automations next. So I'm going to show you how to create an automation, how to review an automation, and then how to edit a current automation if you want to edit a current one. So the best way, just for basics, to explain an automation is it's a combination of multiple things. It could be emails, it could be text messages, you could do voicemail drops, you can have it where it adds them to a Facebook campaign if you're running ads automatically. There's a lot of different things you can do on automations. So I'm going to show you how to create one, but that's very basic what an automation is. So we're going to go to create automation, and you can use AI, which is pretty cool, to create the automation for you, but I'm just going to start this one from scratch. So we'll do start from scratch. You'll always want to label your automation so you know what it's about. So at the top, just make sure you label your automation, because you're going to want to know when you come back to it, like what this automation is about. So I'll do test for this one. And then triggers could be, again, a combination of things. So a trigger, and again, if you guys have questions, make sure to put it in the chat so I can come back to it, just because I'm running behind a little bit on time and I want to make sure we get through everything. But I will answer everybody's questions, I promise. If I don't get to it on the meeting, I'll record a Loom and do that too afterwards if we run out of time. But what a trigger is, a trigger triggers, sorry to use the same word twice, off of something that you decide what you want it to be. So let's say you want the workflow to trigger based off of a pipeline stage. You would do, sorry, I'll start from the beginning. You'd click on add new trigger. You type in pipeline stage changed, and then you would add a filter, and you would go to in pipeline. And let's say we want to do, like, for the arrive folks, we want to do leads, and we want something to trigger on the app complete. I already have this set up for you guys, but this is down to set up your own if you want to do it. But you just select the app completed stage. There's also a bunch of different triggers inside of here, like if they fill out a survey inside of your CRM. Let's say it's your birthday. I already have that set up, by the way, but if you want to do anything more, these are just different options. Let's say that you add a specific tag to someone, like real estate agent, and you want like a text and an email to go out right away if I tag them real estate agent, introducing yourself. Let's say you have a custom date reminder, like a fun date, which I already have for everybody here. You can create triggers basically off of anything. You can even do it off of tasks you've completed or reminders for your tasks. So that's triggers. If you have any questions, again, put it in the chat, but I'm trying to go as slow as I can and explain as much as I can without running out of time. And then this is, you see this plus button right here? This is going to be in action. So you have a trigger which triggers an action, if that makes sense. So an action could be, again, a combination of a lot of different things. I'm just going to start with something simple, and I'm going to have it send an email. So I'll go here. The subject, what's really cool is you can code in like their name or specific things from a contact. So I'll click on this, kind of looks like a price tag. I'll click on here, go to contact, and just code in their first name. And then you can just write whatever you want inside of here. The pre-header text, this actually just came out a couple weeks ago. So when you get an email from someone, you have the subject, right? And then underneath that, you have the first sentence of what the email is going to be about. You can change that for what you want that to be by putting that here. And I already do this for everybody on like my marketing package, but that's how you would do it yourself. And then this would be the email. This would be the body of it. So you could do like, hey, Deven, here's an update on the loan amount. And then you could code in, I'm not saying this is something you'd use. I'm just trying to be quick without running out of time. Loan amount. And then that would be your email, right? If you ever do an email, just make sure, sorry, let someone in really quick. If you ever do an email, just make sure at the very end you code in your email signature, or it's not going to send your email signature and it'll look really funky. So that's just by going to user and signature. The cool thing, guys, like, yes, I'm showing you CRM basics, but if you're on my marketing package, I just take care of this all for you. So you could say, hey, Deven, I want a workflow built for credit repair, like another one. Awesome. What do you want on there? And then I'll just create it all for you and you don't have to do any of this. But I want to make sure my CRM clients, or if you want to do it yourself, you can. You'll hit save action. It saves it. And then the workflow is saved, right? But it's not published yet, meaning it's not live, so it can't send anything. So what you'll do is you'll click on publish right here and you'll click save. That's how you do that. So now the workflow's live. You can use this on contacts. It'll even trigger off specific things. But if you have it in draft, it won't trigger if you have a trigger built, which is cool because then that will give you time to like create what you need and adjust what you need. And then I'll just go down the list of these really quick, just small explanations. Create contact, ignore that. You're really not going to use that. That's more for me. Like if we're pulling over from a webhook or another place like My Home IQ or HomeBot or like Stick'em next week, and you guys learn about that. Update contact field. That could be, let's say that you want a field for a specific thing like loan status, right? So when a loan status comes over, I have it update a contact field, which is loan status. Maybe you want a tag for your workflow. Like let's say you create a workflow where someone comes in and they're a new lead and they come from Facebook and you want to source your Facebook leads. That would be a contact. I, by default in all of your CRMs, I assign you the contact if you're the loan officer. So these will automatically assign to you, unless if you have multiple, like an LOA in your account, then we've adjusted that ourselves. But there's a bunch of things in here. I actually shouldn't go through each one because that would take a long time, but you'll see like email, text. You could do phone calls where it'll remind you to call someone. You could do voicemails, Messenger, Instagram. Like there's a bunch of different things in there. So, okay. That's how you create a workflow. I'm going to delete this workflow just so it's not in my account. And then I'm going to show you how to edit a current workflow. And then we'll go move on to the next thing. And then I'll get to as many questions as I can. So we're going to go to, I've been doing a lot of Arrive this call, so I'll do Nano this call for this example. So if you're with Arrive or if you're with Nano or if you're with Lending Pad, it's going to be something similar, but it's going to be communication is the folder you're going to go in. I don't turn this on for anybody. I just have all the texts and emails in there, and you'll need to turn this on manually if you want these texts and emails to go out. So this is based on different stages in the loan process. So if I go to, let's do like the application started stage, right? This triggers if an application is started. So that's the trigger for this workflow. It waits 3 hours because it'd be annoying if you emailed or texted someone right when they started their application, you're like, hey, why haven't you done it yet? Like we want to give them time to finish it. But then I have a different condition based on if their loan purpose is purchase or refinance. If you want to edit any of these emails or texts, you'll just click on the email, go down below and just edit anything you want. So you'll just edit there right here, click save. Same thing for text. And then these are unpublished for everybody because I like everybody to review their workflow before I turn it on, because this is like these could be sensitive texts and emails because it's a loan update. So you'll just click publish and hit save, and then it's turned on. So if you don't have that turned on, that's how you turn it on for any of your LOSs in there. Okay, so that's contacts, that's automation. Okay, I'm catching up a little bit, so I'll take some questions really quick. So I'm looking in the chat. So Brittany, is there a way to have a template of recurring tasks already plug in for a specific opportunity? Yes. So Brittany, how you would do that is you'd want to create a workflow, and I could do this for you if you give me your list. You'd want to do a trigger that triggers based off of a pipeline stage, and you would do in pipeline. I know Brittany, you use Nano, so let's say we want to do like pipeline stage is application submitted, and then you could create the task where it automatically create the task for you, and you can even automatically assign to your LOA if you have an LOA inside of there. Does that answer your question, Brittany, before I move on to the next one?
I guess I'm wondering is like whenever you're at the stage of creating a new opportunity or a new contact, like can it already have my follow-up flow of like an instant text and email, and then, you know, maybe a follow-up later that day, and then again the next day? It's something that's already like a template that's in there every time I create a new contact, rather than doing it every single time I have somebody. add
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So we could, Brittany, what we could do is in the workflow, we could do contact created as the trigger. So anybody that's like a brand new contact and they have like the tag borrower,
Mm-hmm.
then if you give me the list of tasks that you want, this would just, when you create the contact and they have that tag, it would automatically do it. Like it would automatically add it. You don't have to do a thing.
Would that mess with any of my other workflows? Like if that same contact is in my, like nurture sequence for them, will that disrupt anything or?
No, because it's a completely separate workflow and it's triggering based off
And it's
of,
really for me, right?
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could just disregard it. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And if you just email me those tasks, Brittany, and how you want it to trigger, I'll take care of it for you. I'm only saying that because I know Brittany is on my marketing package. So, but that's how you do it if you're not. Okay, let's go to the next one. How do you create a Loom? So, Kim, that's a really good question. I think it's $10 a month now. I can't remember their pricing. John, maybe this is something you could show on a call next week. I really like Loom because it's an easy way to record videos and send it to like a client like very quickly. And if you have a Loom, literally all you need to do is click this button right here, hit record, and choose your screen. And then it will record the video for you. And then you can send a link and it automatically creates a GIF as well. So I'll show you what that means here in just a second. I think because I'm on the Google Meet and Loom, it's a little delayed, but it's usually really fast. I wonder if it'll even record because I am on Google Meet. Dang. Okay, it might. Oh wait, sweet, it did. It was just really slow. So I'll stop the recording, right? And Kim, are you still on here? Yeah, you're still on here. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm answering your question. So there's a couple ways to share a Loom. You can share and you can do an embed by, sorry, it's loading because of my Google Meet. You can do embed and you can embed a thumbnail. So like if I go to a contact inside of the CRM and I don't want to embed the video in my email. If I copy that, it automatically embeds like a short clip of the video. So it just makes it look a little bit better when you're sending those. Does that answer your question, Kim, what a Loom is and what that does?
Yeah. Do we purchase this through the CRM?
Loom is outside of the CRM. So you would just go to loom.com. It's just a platform that I use that people like.
What does everybody use Loom for? Anything specific?
John would probably be the best one. John, do you want to go over what you use Loom for because you're an LO?
Me?
Yeah. Yep.
I actually don't. So Loom, you can actually get it free and they'll let you do like 15 videos a month for free on Loom. So that's one way to do it. I think that there are 1,000 ways to do it, right? We all talk about adding value. We're not valuable because we say we are. We're valuable when we actually help our clients. So I think a great thing is every time if you would, you're going to go over an LE, I would go over it on a video with the shared screen walking through the line by lines. And every one of my clients would get that video when you send them a copy of their LE.
That's genius. Just solved my whole problem.
Yeah, or every closing disclosure. So think about how can you separate yourself from all the other jokers out there? And the way you do it is by doing the difficult things that most people won't. So Loom is a fantastic way to do it. I use a thing called TeleTV, and I have.
That's right. It's similar to Loom, though, right, John? I forgot you use a separate one.
It's similar, way more robust, but again, I'm publishing thousands of videos, so it's probably not what you need. Like you don't need a Ferrari to drive to your mailbox. You need a golf cart, and maybe Loom is better. But it's all super simple. I think that if you have Zoom has something now inside of it where you can do this. It's just a quick screen record. There's dozens of them out there, but $15 a month or Loom is free. Start there. I don't know if that answered the question, but there's lots of ways to do it.
Yeah. Sean, go ahead. I saw you come off for that.
Oh, I was going to ask about YouTube, like doing the private links. Would that work, or do you not want to do YouTube in that case?
That would work. You just want to make sure it's unlisted, so that way it's not like a public video. The reason that I like Loom or like TeleTV is like it just makes it way faster to record the video because then you have to upload that video to YouTube and everything. This is the best way I differentiate it. Use Loom for one-on-one conversations, right? You're not going to send the same Loom video to 1,000 contacts. use YouTube for one-to-many conversations. Like if we have the same video going out for a blog, right? We're going to want to use YouTube so we can get people to your YouTube channel. Does that make sense, Sean, on there?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I add one thing there?
Yeah, go ahead, John. Yeah.
Just,
awesome.
hey, remember when you drive somebody to YouTube, you're driving them to YouTube. Guess where they stay? They're no longer thinking about their loan. They're watching a duck, float across the pond with a lion chasing it or something. So just right as soon as you send them to YouTube, just understand that they might get trigger ads. Somebody might see them. They were Googling a mortgage. They're going to get people in front of them. So I would try and keep your clients off of platforms that are going to try and steal them from you.
And that's why I would use Loom for one-to-one, because 100% agree with John. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Does that help, Kim? Any questions on that before I go to the next question?
I guess the Loom then gets connected to the CRM.
Yeah, so the Loom, how it would work, it's just outside of the CRM. So like Loom would be like its own platform. It's like a plugin on your website. But once the Loom is done recording, I'll show you how to add the Loom to an email. So you would just go right here and hit share, and you would do copy GIF thumbnail, and then you'd put that thumbnail in the email inside of the CRM. You can do it inside of your email as well, but does that make sense, Kim? Like how to add the video to the email?
Yeah, can you send out like a video on this so I know how to do this?
Funny enough, Christian, I think last week, here, let me put this in the chat. I think he did it last week. I know he did one recently, how to create like a GIF. I'll send it to you guys when I find it. Yeah, I'll send it to you, Kim.
Thank you.
Did one recently, but okay. Okay, going to the next one. I think we got Aaron. Oh, Aaron, that's a really good one. I don't right now, Aaron. So we could just make that tag whatever we want to be. So we could just do like lost client. That would be a good one, Aaron. And then we could have it. If you remind me, Aaron, in your account, I can make it and create an automation so it removes them from the stages. Okay, if just email me and say create a tag that's lost lead, and then I'll have them removed from all stages. So I'll set that up. That's actually a good idea. I should do for everybody anyways. Elizabeth, can you do a giant Excel upload from past clients? Yep, you definitely can. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to unshare for a second. I just need to make sure I have some data that I can upload that's fake data that won't mess with anybody's stuff. 1 second. Okay. So let me share my screen. So Elizabeth was asking, how do you do a bulk upload? So this is how you do that. So you'll go to contacts, and then you're going to click on, and I'll do this for you, by the way, from my marketing package, so you don't even have to worry about it. But you'll click on import. You're going to do contacts. You're going to you can either drag and drop it or click it. So I'm going to click it, and I think I have one that's like fake data right here. And then you're just going to map your sheet to your CRM. So this is your sheet, right? This is the preview information, and this is the CRM. So you're going to map it, make sure it's right. Hit don't import if there's fields that you don't need to import. And then I would always add a tag so you remember what the sheet is, so that way you can create a smart list. That's what I recommend. So like if you're doing a bulk upload of like Redder real estate agents, you'd want to add a tag to remember that. You could also add them to a workflow automatically when you're bulk uploading them. Does that help, Elizabeth, on your question? Okay. And then Sean, and then John, I'm going to record. Can you email me? Because I'm going to run out of time about the caller ID, because I have one more from Sean, and then I have to get on my next call. Can you email it to me, John? Is that cool?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay. Thanks, man. Sean, yes. So if anybody has Lending Pad here, because I have a few that I do, if you go to automation and you go to, I think I put it under loan. Yeah, it's loan status updates is the Lending Pad one, and then all the workflows are in here, Sean. If you need me to dive into yours individually, Sean, just email me and I'll do it inside of there. But okay, before I go, because I do have a call I need to jump to next, just remember you can schedule a one-on-one call with me or my assistant. My assistant has way more times just because my calendar books up really fast with client calls. And that would be for like CRM training. He's very well-versed, same as me. I've been working with him for 5 years. He's awesome. Weekly trainings, first and third Thursday of every month is CRM Basics. Second Thursday, John will be here. He's going to be talking about Stickum. It's a pretty cool platform. I actually already have it integrated into GoHighLevel for everybody's account. So if you use it, it will just start working the day that you use it. I don't make any money from that, by the way. So I just thought it was a cool platform for John to talk about. And then last thing, the link, if you want to learn GoHighLevel on your own, my business partner records stuff every single week. And then if you guys need anything, just email me. I get back same day. And then I'm here if you guys need me. That sound good, guys?
Thanks, Deven.
Okay. Hopefully that was helpful and I wasn't too quick. Okay. See you guys. Bye.